Hi everyone, it's Bob from Greybeard Models. Welcome back to the channel. And this is my introduction to the Aurora Group build. It's hosted by Mark Huber over there at Mark from Montana and Carl DeHart. I'll put links in the description below. They did a group build last year on Aurora kits. And to be perfectly honest with you, before last year I'd never touched an Aurora kit. I didn't really know much about it. Over here in the UK, the Aurora kits are usually things like Frankenstein and Dracula and sort of monster movie type stuff. So I didn't really, it was of no interest to me, to be honest. But it was quite good fun last year doing the Aurora aircraft, and my introduction to aircraft rigging, and that's another story. But this year I've picked a fairly straightforward aircraft, and it's a jet fighter. So without further ado, let's get over to the bench and we'll have a look. Okay, so here's the Aurora Avro CF-100 all-weather fighter. This is a jet fighter, as you can see from the fairly spectacular artwork on there. Built by the Canadians in the 50s. Got the instructions and stuff here. Yeah, long range 2-seat all-weather fighter. So it's going to be a straightforward build because it is what it is, and the decals are those, the Canadian maple leaf decals. I think I might have to try and find alternatives. They look a bit yellow, but we'll see what happens. We'll try and get these to recover. I think we should be able to get it to recover, but we'll give that a go. That'll be one problem, I think. Instructions are fairly straightforward. Just looking for a sort of colour scheme. It looks to me like the whole thing is potentially just silver, but I'm going to have a read. And there's bits here black for the jet exhaust, whatever. Black on the inside of the cockpit. It has pilot seat and a navigator seat, but it doesn't actually have figures. So I'm wondering if I've got a stack of jet fighter type figures, I might be able to find an alternative. So I think what we need to do, interesting things that it says on there, suggested detail painting scheme, see illustrations, paint parts as indicated, allow to dry before assembly, which is quite an interesting concept that they're advising to do that. So anyway, let's get some parts sorted out, and we'll get some painting done, I think. Right, so I've got the cockpit parts, and they're rudimentary to say the least. So I've got the two cockpit seats and your pilot, co-pilot positions, like like that. But like I say, there's no pilots. It just so happens that I've got this pack by PJ Productions in Belgium, RF pilot seated in AC, 1960s. So it's about right, and they're 1/72nd scale, so they're sort of right. I don't know what the scale of this is, but it sort of looks around that mark. Unfortunately, one of the pilots has lost his legs. We call him Douglas, but that's not a bad thing. Sounds shocking, really, doesn't it? That's not a bad thing, because I've got to try and fit these pilot figures into the cockpit, and to be honest, there's no legroom. So, for example, the pilot is there, and I don't know if I'll be able to tip it over and show you, but there's no legroom there. So I think the first thing to do is we'll get the cockpit parts painted according to the colour scheme. It's sort of all black inside, which is fine. So I'll get that painted, and then I'll work on these little pilots and get them into some sort of colour scheme, and I'll use the same colour scheme as I've got here. These are RF pilots, but the Royal Canadian Air Force, I reckon they're probably similar. So I'll go with that. So we've got the blue overalls and the sort of orange, sort of like a Mae West, I suppose, and then the pilot, the helmets and the oxygen masks, gloves, and whatnot. So I think I'll get these painted, and then we'll go from there, I think. Right, well, as you'll have seen before, I've been through all of this stuff, and it doesn't actually really give you oh, excuse me, doesn't give you a colour scheme as such, and it sort of just says refer to the artwork, and the artwork on the box, although it's pretty cool, doesn't really give you a colour. So I did some research, and the strange thing was I actually found some photographs of this aircraft, and there's an example of it at Duxford, at the Imperial War Museum here in the UK at Duxford, and it's in the background of some of the pictures I took. So I'm just going to put a couple of those in here. Well, according to Scalemates, the colour scheme was bare metal, or for the posh, bare metal. Anyway, so that's what I'm going to do. So it's going to be a silver colour scheme, generically silver colour scheme, and I've got some good metal colours here, and one of them I think is a dull aluminium or duraluminium, which I think the Vallejo metal colour duraluminium, I think I might do it in this colour. It's a sort of a good good colour, I think. That's burnt iron. I'm not using that. But yeah, I think I'll do it in duraluminium, which then poses a problem, because now it means I've got to sort of put it together and then give it an all over colour scheme, which isn't too bad. I can do that, that's not a problem. So the first thing is to look at the pilots, so I'll be back with you in a second. Right, so they're the two pilots, or the pilot and the navigator, in position. The navigator was fine. We had enough room behind there to keep his legs on. but the pilot, even though I managed to graft his legs back on, his feet were too big. So there's not enough room there for sort of for his feet. And it's a shame there's no, there's no controls or anything like that. No sort of not controls, instrument panel or anything like that. And the same with the co-pilot. There's no instrument panel there. And I'm sure the navigator would have had something there, but never mind. So there, those in place. The other thing that I had to look at and have a good look at, dig it out of the box, was actually the canopy. Now the canopy, according to the instructions, goes back to this part here, and then essentially that's it. So one of the things I had to make sure was that the top of the canopy cleared the pilots. I didn't want to sort of end up with pilots in there and then find out actually I can't put the canopy on it. So the next stage would be to put the canopy in place, and then we'll consider about the sort of the total sort of assembly and masking and stuff like that. But before I do that, let's have a look at the stand. I thought the stand was really quite good. I mean, Airfix, come on, you didn't steal this design, did you? I do like the idea of the sort of map here. Got the Americas and Australia over here, and sort of all of that sort of thing is quite good. Yeah, sort of global map and Aurora Plastics Corporation. And there is a decal that goes in there. That's this Avro CF-100, and I hope I manage to rescue these, because I think this is really quite a funky design. Now I'm not sure about the lettering. I've ordered some decals. Aviology, I think, is a company. They do some Canadian roundels, which I might be able to replace these and these, because I think in the set that I've ordered they're different sizes. I'm not worried about these lines particularly. These lines are actually on the underside, I think, of the fuselage, in these sort of areas here. I think there's one there, one there, one there, and one there. I don't see those as being a problem, because obviously I can mask this off and paint it. So the next thing is really, I've blocked these holes in the bottom of the fuselage, because these are the holes where, according to the instructions, or the undercarriage goes. So I've just put some bits of stretch sprue into the holes there. So I'm going to sort of cut these back, sand those down, and we'll start putting the whole thing together, methinks, and then we'll be looking at doing some painting. So that's where we are at the moment. That's a fairly basic introduction into the kit. To be honest, it's not a lot to it, but I think the next thing to do is get the general assembly together, and then we'll get onto sort of the paint and all the rest of it. So anyway, I hope you found that interesting. It is actually quite a good kit, so I'm really quite pleased with it. But I think we'll call it a day there, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Please leave your comments and likes and all that sort of stuff below, and yeah, see you on the next one. Bye for now.